Madden games for the PSP really ain't great from the same gameplay to less game modes. It seems that EA was just rushing to deliver these ports to PSP that they didn't even bother to make them fun. They didn't even try to add some stuff. There are many people who will be playing them on the PSP would enjoy playing them. Hello everyone, I'm Elixir and let's speak about Madden NFL games on the PSP and why I'm not a big fan of them. Firstly, I know many of you all may say that all sports games have the same gameplay, and to that I say no. Why? Well, yes, they do have the same gameplay, but some games make it interesting. They make up for the same gameplay. For example, NBA 2K13, NCAA football, FIFA, and even MLB, the show for PSP, all have like cutscenes. I might just call them cutscenes, okay? Before matches, like in FIFA, when you win a cup or even a Champions League, your players will celebrate. You will see your players celebrating, and you can even see them hold the cup, receiving the championship cup or whatever cup they were playing for. And then you look at Madden Super Bowl, matches. Nothing happens when you win, no message, nothing. And that's why I say it has the gameplay, It doesn't have a variety where some matches will have something interesting to look at. It is just the same thing in every match. That's why I say it has the same gameplay. Like there isn't something that you will say, okay, I'm looking forward to seeing something interesting in this match that I didn't see in the last match. I spoke about the Super Bowl and said that there's nothing happening because it is the same as every match. It is the same as matches before the regular season. Like for you to be anticipated to play the Super Bowl in Madden NFL games on the PSP is just something that you wouldn't want. You will get disappointed, okay? Because they don't try to add something. Let's just say maybe they could have made a celebration after you win. I understand it is a PSP game, but we got games like MLB whereby or FIFA whereby you can celebrate, okay? But they didn't even add anything. Like sometimes in Madden NFL 12, the announcers don't even say that you are playing for the Super Bowl. They may say in matches if you mess up and lose some yardage, they will say you should pay more attention because this is the Super Bowl. But nothing interesting happens, which is why I say these matches don't have variety. Secondly, the game modes. Every Madden game on PSP has two, if not three game modes. If you remove exhibition, multiplayer, minicamp, which is practice or joining in other games, while other games have many game modes. Take for instance FIFA, which has five if not six game modes. And the worst thing is that Madden is the only one with no creative player mode, which I don't understand why it was not included, because even Madden games on the PSP, although they didn't have creative player mode, but they have a creative team mode, which PSP also even doesn't have, okay? Like it is the only one, as I said, on the PSP which doesn't have creative player mode, not including maybe NHL. Since I haven't played it, I'm not going to include it. From the ones that I was speaking about, NBA 2K13, NCAA, FIFA, MLB, the show, all of those ones have a creative player mode whereby you create your own player and rise to glory. It is only Madden which doesn't have those things, which makes me wonder why they didn't even bother to include them. Even Madden's franchise mode gets boring after some time. It is just plain and uninteresting. It is the same thing with no variety, the same as with the gameplay of this game. The only time I was excited was when I was gonna play the Super Bowl, but that excitement expired quickly because the Super Bowl is the same as every match. Like I'm gonna get into full detail about the franchise mode when I release the video or my review on Madden 12 on PSP. You will understand on that video why I see Madden's franchise on the PSP is really boring. It isn't something that you will look up to and say, what, I'm really excited to play franchise mode because I'm going to do this and this and that. It is just. Lastly, the game's physics and logic. Since it is a football game, then that means it should have great physics. You should be waiting to see some great tackles and great stuff happening in the game because it is a football game. It is what it should be like. It should have great tackles. Sure, Madden 12's tackles look cool. Like sometimes when you tackle somebody, it zooms in on that and even the screen shakes. But then you look at NCAA football 10, which has way better better tackles. Like for example, like I might try to show a clip of this or maybe a screenshot. Like one time my player was running, okay, and while he was running, he was almost gonna get to the touchdown area, and this player like was behind him, and because he saw he wasn't gonna be able to tackle him, he went and jumped in on his leg and grabbed him by the leg, and my player like fought to get out but fell down because he was grabbed by the leg. In and like that, you could see Madden NFL 12 or even the Madden games on PSP. Sure, like some tackles on the Madden games really look cool, but then when you look at other football games like NCAA football, as I said, they really look like child's play. And even the injuries are believable in NCAA football. If the player injured his head, you'll see him lying on the ground holding his head. If he injured his hand, you see him like stand up while holding his hand to show that the hand is really injured. And one time my player injured his leg, and he stood up while limping and fell down because of the fact of that, like you can't walk on one foot, to show that he was really hurting. In Madden they just lie down no matter the injury. Like I remember, like no matter, even if he injured his head, his hand, his leg, they will just lie down like that. And one thing that I noticed is that like if you look at it for like 2 frames, the player just disappears from the screen, while the other players are on the screen. He just disappears for some reason. I don't know why that thing was added there. Even the touchdown in Madden are just boring. At least Madden 08, a player who scored will celebrate. But then you also again look at NCAA football 10, which sometimes other players will celebrate with your player, and so you will see the opponents said like they will like be shaking their heads, and they even did like this celebration of whereby like two. There's a lot I want to speak of, but I don't want to make you all hate Madden games on PSP. Like I wanted to talk about the commentary and how bad it is, but I will talk about it in the Madden 12 video that I'm gonna be releasing. Cause although I just spoke bad of them, but I still enjoy them. Like they're still one of my favorite games on the PSP, and I believe you all will still love them. But I suggest you all to not play Madden NFL 10 on the PSP because it has this thing whereby it treats you as if like you don't know how to play Madden games. Whereby if like you are running and somebody's gonna take you, it will say press X to like maybe break the tackle or maybe avoid the tackle. Like it is a thing whereby you just press X whenever they tell you, and you go score a touchdown without like getting a second down or nothing. So yeah, this is why I have to end it. And yeah, thanks for watching. Peace.